Day 22, ladies and gentlemen, of our 1000 Dawns journey. And what a day today has been. So, because today is Sunday, and for those who are new to how I schedule my days and stuff like that, Sunday I've always referred to as Maintenance Day. Now, the reason I've always referred to it as Maintenance Day is because things that we didn't do during the week, we update, and we sort of make plans here and there for throughout the week. And I think Sunday is probably a really good time to address these sorts of things, because whilst most people, including myself, have to get ready for work and look forward to the week ahead, that's kind of also what it's about. It's about rest and having time to think about what your next step has been. And to be honest, today has been one of those days where, quite frankly, I've been busier than I've been a lot busier than usual, because literally I started the day off from start to finish. This is what today has looked like. I started the day at 7 o'clock, went down to the gym, came home at about 9:30, hopped straight on and got to work basically. And one of the things that I've been up to for the majority of the day is relaunching my TikTok account. And with quite a lot of new videos being added and quite a lot of a bold new direction we're having for TikTok and stuff like that. Because here's a really interesting thing. I'm less than 80,000 views away from my TikTok being monetized, which, and only again a matter of opinion, but guess what? It opens up sort of like a new revenues, if you will, to earn money and just to see if we can get ahead. Now, you may be saying to yourself, that's all well and good, but usually like the thing when it comes to views for like monetization purposes is that you have to have at least 100,000 views in the small span of about 30 days. And like I said, we're about 20,500. So there is a little bit of a way to go. What I will say, however, is that the more I think about it, I think we could probably reach 100,000 views on TikTok in about 10 days. I think there's no real rhyme or reason we can't reach that amount in such a short amount of time. How are we going to do this, you may be asking yourself? Well, let me put it to you like this, guys. Because I make a staggering amount of videos, and because the amount of videos, literally, like the pile keeps getting higher and higher and higher every single day, it means that I have an awful lot of stock at my disposal. And what do you do with stock, ladies and gentlemen? You sell it on. So what exactly do I do with my stock? Basically, I cut it down into 30-second segments at the very least. Sometimes it's as high as nearly 6 minutes. I then pass it on through TikTok, and guess what? The whole thing starts all over again. So it's almost like, you know, we don't waste what we have. Every single thing we use, we pass it on, and therefore everything we make, everything we do, not only has a purpose, but guess what? It's things we can use to pass on through TikTok, and that's sort of a little bit of a road to victory, if you will. I'm sure it may not be as true, because here's the thing. Even though it sounds like a plan, and it's about as good a plan as anything else, I still have to contend with the fact that I still have to reach that goal. Again, I'm aiming for about 10 days time I'll be able to do it. And it did catch quite a lot of people when I was out last night. It did actually catch quite a lot of people by surprise when I told them how many followers I had on TikTok. However, that's just one of those small little mysteries about life. But a lot of people did advise me, you ought to do more stuff. They say TikTok is where it's at. And I'll be the first to admit, we can certainly try. And if it's not as good as gold, as they say, we can at least say we tried. So let's give it a whirl, shall we? And here's to, again, in 10 days' time. In fact, how about we say at the end of the month, 7 whole days to kick off on TikTok? I think that's a bit of an interesting challenge, because 80,000, we're talking about 11,500 a day, something like that. Let's find out, shall we? I think that's going to be a really interesting challenge. So I'll see you guys again next time. Thank you.